Hello everybody. This is Monty with Flowers by the Bunch. I hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. Today we need to make an arrangement in a tall urn. This is for a church and they're going to do a celebration. Their minister has been there with them for over 20 years. So it's going to be a large celebration and they needed an arrangement in an urn to go in their front foyer. So that's what we're going to work on today. I started out with, this is just a plastic liner that I have dropped down into the urn. I have placed some fresh floral foam that has been soaked in water into my container, and I'm going to start out with a little bit of greenery. So I have leather leaf fern. I'm going to take that leather leaf and I am going to go all the way around this foam with this greenery. So and it's just really to camouflage my container. I'm going to just take my floral knife, cut that greenery at an angle, and I'm just going to press that right down into that floral foam. And so I'm just taking a little bit of this greenery and adding it. It doesn't take a whole lot, but I just need enough to give me a little bit of a base of greenery. Now this is an arrangement that I did. They really liked the arrangements I did for the wedding last week. And so it's going to be very much like those arrangements. So there is my leather leaf. Now I'm going to come in with some bells of Ireland. You see me use these a lot. These are beautiful green bells of Ireland. I'm going to strip off some of the lower florets, cut that at an angle, and push it right into that foam. This arrangement is going to be all the way around because it's going to be in the center of the foyer. I adjusted the camera so that you could see the height better, but we'll take a good picture so that you can see it. Okay, so there's our bells of Ireland. Next I'm going to come in, and you've seen me use this before, but I'm going to come in with some pampas grass plumes. And the reason we're using these again is because that's what the customer wanted. They're using some of this in the other arrangements in the church. So I'm just going to press these plumes into my foam. And these are dried, so they just break really easily. And they shed so. When you have these plumes, when you go out and harvest them, if you would take a little bit of clear paint or polyurethane spray, you can spray them and it will help keep them from shedding so. Or you can take some hairspray. Hairspray will do the same thing. It helps with that shedding. So just take it and pop it with a little bit of that spray and it'll keep it from shedding too bad. Next I'm going to come in with some white hydrangeas. I'm going to take and remove those leaves off that hydrangea. I'm going to cut my stem at an angle. And then I'm taking a little bit of quick dip and I'm dipping that bloom into that quick dip. I count to about 7 and then I'm going to stick it right into my floral foam. Now my container has a good bit of water in the reservoir, and so it has plenty of water for the hydrangeas, but I always like to do this, dip it in that quick dip, so that it helps to make sure these flowers are going to stay hydrated. All right, so there's our hydrangeas in place. Next we're going to come in with some pretty burgundy colored mums. Now I love this color for fall. Such a pretty color. I'm going to remove some of this foliage and strip off my leaves on the bottom. Cut that stem at an angle and then just tuck them right into this arrangement. The wonderful part about mums is they're long lasting and they will last for such a good long time. Removed any foliage, cut that stem and press it right into that foam. All right, there we go. Next I have some Safari Sunset. Safari Sunset is in the Protea family, and it's really almost just a stem of foliage, of a deep, pretty burgundy colored foliage. It works so well in fall, but it also works really well for our football team. Here at Mississippi State, our football team, our colors are maroon and white. And so this Safari Sunset is the perfect foliage, or the perfect flower for our football. Next I'm going to come in with some maroon agonis. Some pretty maroon agonis. I'm going to take it and pop it in half. So I just cut it in two separate pieces. I'm just sticking that right over into that floral foam. Now agonis has such a pretty feathery texture. You can see how it's just kind of feathery and pretty. I like to use it almost as a filler flower. It's just a really pretty foliage, I think. All right, so I'm just about through with the agonis. Next, I'm going to come in with a few roses. I have some seeded eucalyptus to finish off the container. And then we have a few roses. I've got some florist wire. So I'm going to take this florist wire, I'm going to scoot our arrangement over a little bit. And I am going to wire each of these roses. I'm going to take it and press it into the little swollen part of the rose right below its head. I'm going to remove any of these guard petals. This is a soft pink rose, just really pretty and sweet. Press that right into that calyx, and I just twist it right around that stem. Now, not everybody cares to wire their roses, and that's completely okay. Here at our shop, we like to wire them just because it guarantees their little heads won't dip on me. You know, these little heads of these roses are a little bit heavy, and so I find if I wire those roses, their little heads won't dip. I just like that little extra guarantee. And there are, I'm sure, lots of florists that do not do that, but it just helps me feel better about the product when it goes out. Okay, two more stems and a little seeded eucalyptus, and we are going to call this arrangement pretty. Bless you. And you saw me just remove some of those guard petals. A guard petal is the outer petals when the rose is in a soft little bud on the bush. These little petals, these little guard petals, are the petals that help protect your rose while it's growing. And so when they bloom and they get real open, those guard petals can have discoloration and just not be the prettiest. And so I like to just remove those. because some people will look at them and think that the rose is dead. And it's important that I realize as a florist, and I know that they're garden petals, not everybody does. And so I like to be aware that someone might look at it and think it's dead. So it's important that you go ahead and remove them. Because what the customer perceives is all that really matters, right? It's important that they receive something that they think is fresh and pretty. And if they think it's dead, then they panic and they spent good money, and it's just important. So that's why I always remove it. Now, if I'm taking them home, I may not remove that garden petal. But if I'm sending it out, I usually do. All right, so there's my roses. And lastly, what I'm going to do is I am going to add a little bit of seeded eucalyptus. So to me, the seeded eucalyptus is really going to finish off this arrangement. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it and go all the way around the base of this container. And what that's going to do is it's going to cover up those mechanics, that container, and it's going to soften the edge of this container. Because it's kind of harsh, it looks almost like it's an ice cream cone sitting on top, right? Maybe a scoop of ice cream sitting on top of that container. Well, if I put this pretty foliage into my container, see how it softens that edge and makes it, it just makes it better to me. Now, it's something about pretty foliage that makes an arrangement look more expensive. And I realize not everybody likes foliage, and that's completely okay. And I try to abide by their liking. But it hurts my feelings if I don't get to put foliage in an arrangement. All right, I'm just about finished. So this pretty arrangement will go in the foyer of the church. And another one of the ladies made all of the arrangements that go into for the dinner. They're going to have a nice dinner for the minister, I believe. So she made some pretty arrangements for that. And there we have it. There is our large arrangement. Guys, thank you so much for being here with us this afternoon. If you have any questions about this arrangement or anything about the flower shop, please don't hesitate to ask those questions right down below. If you'd like to see more videos like this, you can always check us out over on Facebook. We do live videos every afternoon. And check out our Shopify account. We've got a new website, and we are listing brand new items every single day. So check that out. Guys, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you real soon.